Welcome to this demonstration of the iMark presentation platform. There are three aspects to presentations that typically challenge most sales, marketing, and other groups all over the world. The first is being able to quickly find relevant presentation materials. The second is making sure people are not presenting out-of-date information. And the third is creating presentations that actually work. We're going to demonstrate an application that solves those and many more problems through a very unique approach to managing PowerPoint. Research suggests that, on average, winning presentations require 7 to 8 hours of preparation time for every hour of presentation time. So that's the first challenge, quickly finding relevant presentation materials. To solve that problem, I'm going to start by logging into the iMark system. Once I'm logged in, I'll have access to all the PowerPoint presentations that have been developed by people in the company all over the world. Let's say that I need to give a presentation that will begin with an overview of the company. I'll type CB&I and Overview in the search bar, and the system returns a lot of slides. I want to narrow that down, so I'm going to use the advanced search option and search only for slides that have CB&I Overview in the slide title, but not in the text or the slide notes. I click Search, and now I have just 2 slides to choose from. I'm going to increase the display size so I can see them better, and I'll choose this one. By clicking on it, I send it to the slide basket, which is a holding area for the slides I plan to use in my presentation. Next, I want to talk about modularization. So I'll place that term in the search bar and choose from the slides that are displayed, sending them to the slide basket. And I want to talk about our location, so I'll search for slides with that term and choose this one for my presentation. Finally, I remember that my colleague Joe made a great presentation to investors the last time he was in Houston. I want a couple of slides from that presentation, so I go to the advanced search option and type Houston in the Presented At bar, and Joe in the Presenter bar. In large companies like CB&I, part of the challenge in saving time lies in reducing the tendency for people all over the world to spend hours independently creating essentially the same presentation over and over again. With iMark, if anything has been presented previously, I don't have to recreate it. So now that I have the slides I need, I'm going to go to the slide basket and do a bit of rearranging. Now I'll compile them all in a virtual presentation inside my personal presentation library. I do that by clicking Save as Virtual. I enter a name for my presentation, decide where I'm going to place that presentation, and click Create. I then go to my library, and there's my presentation. In addition to finding presentation materials quickly, I need a quick and convenient way to get them on my laptop or iPad so I can present them to the prospect. With iMark, it's as simple as clicking a button, namely the Export button. Part of keeping presentations up to date is making sure approved templates and backgrounds are being used. Because I pulled those slides from different presentations, some of my slides have different backgrounds, which doesn't look very professional. So I'm going to export the slides to my computer by selecting Export. Then I'm going to have the application apply a single template to them all, so all the slides look like they belong in the same presentation. When I click Export, the indexing engine will apply the template I've chosen slide by slide until the presentation is ready for downloading. As I'm waiting, the program will show me the status of the operation. Once the presentation is ready, I'll download it and call it CB&I Mod. I open it up and see that all the slides look pretty good. I'm ready to make my presentation to the client. We mentioned at the beginning that a major challenge is making sure people are presenting the most current information. When information changes, those changes are not always effectively communicated to the field. With iMark, they don't have to be. Let's say that a few weeks after I've compiled my presentation, CB&I decides to add some locations. Here, 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 and here. Luckily, our program makes a distinction between a virtual presentation and a master presentation. My library contains virtual presentations, which are thumbnails of the master presentation slides. Only authorized people get to post master presentations. In this case, one of those authorized people has been asked to change presentations showing CB&I locations. That person accesses the slide library, selects a master presentation that needs location information updated, and checks out the presentation. When a presentation is checked out, no one else can edit it. He or she might also want to email a link to a colleague to confirm that this is indeed the presentation that needs updating. After checking out the presentation, the authorized person downloads it to a local machine, makes the changes, and saves it. Back in the application, he or she chooses Import New Version and selects the revised presentation, which is then uploaded to the library. So again, with iMark, we're no longer as reliant on hoping people in the field read our emails or product literature and then make the appropriate changes to presentations. That job is now handled by the people who are closest to the action, subject matter experts, or the relevant marketing group. So let's look at the virtual presentation again. And we find that the slide with the locations has been automatically changed. So next time I download this presentation, the information will be up to date without me having to do a thing. That saves a tremendous amount of time and ensures only current information is being presented. Just to make sure, I can click a button to update all slides to the most recent version. The program can be configured to define very specifically who is authorized to do what within the program. The admin function allows administrators to define numerous aspects of how people and groups can interact with the application. Access and editing privileges can be defined right down to individual presentations. Over time, iMark will improve the effectiveness of your presentations because you can manage the system so that people in the field will only be choosing from presentations that have worked well. iMark is also a content management system, which means you can store more than just PowerPoint. You can store graphics, video, audio, anything that people might need to incorporate into a presentation. And of course, the more consistent you can make your presentations, the more powerful they're going to be. Your customers communicate internally, and if a customer in Australia is talking to a colleague in London about a particular CB&I service, you want them to be on the same page as much as possible. That's easier if they've both been presented the same information within the same branding elements. So to summarize, iMark saves time by helping presenters find needed materials quickly, reducing wheel reinvention, and enabling presenters to quickly compile and download relevant materials. iMark helps keep presentations current by allowing easy export and template application, making sure the most current information is presented, and allowing updates only by product champions or other authorized persons. iMark helps make presentations more persuasive by providing easy access to presentations that have worked well, providing easy access to related presentation materials, and ensuring information is presented consistently.